This CFMOTO 450 SR is heading in for surgery. Previously, we replaced the stock bearings with imported copper ones. It has been driven for over 2,000 kilometers since then. Now, take a look at this. Debris has already started appearing inside the clutch cover. I've mentioned before that when you unlock the speed limiter on this bike, the valve springs won't be able to handle the pressure. In the end, the owner just couldn't resist doing it anyway. Let's see what got damaged this time. The clutch is still in great shape, no issues there. Now, let's look at the highlights down here. Just look at this. These are the remains of the valves. It must have been hit incredibly hard. Now, let's check the oil pump gear. That's done for two. Let's keep tearing it down. Let's see how those imported copper bearings held up. And see exactly what else is broken. Earlier, some riders were asking why they haven't seen any videos of a 450 SR engine blowing up. Well, here you go. The range of the speed unlock on this machine wasn't even that large. It was only increased by 1,500 revolutions per minute. Look at this valve lifter. This valve is completely finished. Honestly, the stock power of the CFMOTO 450 is already decent, considering its displacement. Look at this valve. After seeing this, do you still want to unlock the rev limiter? Unlocking the limiter requires reinforcing the components. The spark plug got hit so hard it's barely recognizable. Can you even tell this used to be a valve? Let me ask you, is the love between this valve and the spark plug deep enough? They're so in love they fuse together. Look at the cylinder. The inside is full of pits and dents from the impact. It's scrapped. Let's admire this connecting rod. That's a textbook S-curve body right there. The rod is bent this badly. I wonder how the bearing shells are doing. The design of this engine is truly ingenious. So ingenious that it makes you want to give the designer a piece of your mind. It feels like when they designed it, it was specifically to prevent us from doing aftermarket mods. Or at least to make modifying it as difficult as possible. Oh, designers, you've really worked hard. Come and take a look, everyone. You designed the camshaft so close to the casing, with the oil passages right next to it. Was that to stop us from increasing the camshaft lift? You did it on purpose, right? If you try to increase the lift even a little, it hits the bottom cover immediately. It directly increases the difficulty of our modifications. And then there's this valve spring. In a case like this where the valve snapped, it's because the valve spring couldn't keep up. The key issue is that you guys used flat wire springs. I had no choice but to try a dual spring design. But then, because of the valve stem seals and the inner diameter of the original spring, I could only make a very thin inner spring. And even then, the tension of this spring is still not enough. See how soft it is? I'm also worried that eventually, it might wear down the valve seals. Moving on to some upgrade solutions for the valve springs. We've used all sorts of instruments just to determine the final plan. Since small factories don't usually make these flat wire springs, we had to find a large manufacturer with a 10,000 unit minimum order. The owner is footing the bill. It's good to have money. For the same length, a flat wire spring provides a much higher tension than a round wire one. CFMOTO clearly put effort into this part, but they also left a trap. That increases the cost for us to modify it. The imported copper bearings we installed earlier, they're fine. Currently, our small team Is developing titanium alloy connecting rods, titanium valves, high compression forged pistons, and intake stacks. Look at the bearing shells on this rod. Still okay, just normal signs of use. Of course, the camshaft modification is left to Shanxia because of CFMOTO's design restrictions. Working on the camshaft is quite difficult. Shanxia is currently collecting camshaft data from several bikes. The goal is to find the perfect exhaust cam angle and cam lift. You can check out his videos for more on that. Alright, the part one was most worried about, this deformed rod. Take a look, everyone. The bearing shell is actually fine. To be honest, this was my biggest concern, because the valve failure was expected. But this? Not bad. Even with the rod bent like this, the imported copper bearing survived. This means we've officially solved the bearing issue. The ECU tuning part will be handled by Ajia. Alright, the main bearings here are fine too. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like.